Welcome to our deep dive into Friedrich Hayek's The Road to Serfdom.
Oh, yeah. This one's a classic.
You're interested in getting to the heart of this book
Absolutely.
and why it still makes waves today.
Mm-hmm.
So buckle up.
Okay.
We're going to explore Hayek's warnings,
Right.
the historical context,
Yeah.
and even his controversial link between socialism and fascism.
I mean,
It's a big one.
that's a big part of the book for sure.
Yeah.
What's really interesting about The Road to Serfdom is that it wasn't written as like this dry economic treatise.
Right.
It was more like a warning shot
Yeah.
across the bow of democratic societies.
Mm-hmm.
Hayek, writing in 1944.
Right in the middle of World War II.
Yeah, during the height of World War II,
Wow.
saw this dangerous trend, the growing acceptance of central planning,
Oh, interesting.
even in places that really valued individual freedom.
That's right. And I think that's what makes this book so timely. Here we are decades later, and we're still grappling with these same questions about the role of government and individual liberty. So what exactly was Hayek worried about? I mean, shouldn't governments try to plan and manage things?
Yeah.
Especially in times of crisis?
Well, I think Hayek acknowledged the appeal of planning,
Okay.
especially, in the context of the war effort.
Right.
People were understandably looking for security solutions,
Sure.
and a planned economy could seem like the answer.
Right.
But Hayek was concerned about a slippery slope.
Okay.
He believed that even well-intentioned central planning
Mm-hmm.
could gradually erode individual freedoms and over time create conditions that were ripe for tyranny.
So it's not that he thought every government program was a step towards dictatorship,
Right.
but that concentrating power in the hands of planners could create a dangerous dynamic.
Exactly.
Okay.
You see, Hayek was a huge proponent of the rule of law.
Okay.
Think of it this way. The rule of law is like this sturdy contract between you and the government. It means that the rules are clear, predictable,
Yeah.
apply to everyone equally.
Mm-hmm.
This allows you to make plans for your life, knowing that the government won't just change the rules on a whim.
Right.
In a planned economy, though,
Yeah.
those rules can become arbitrary.
Oh, I see.
What's allowed today might be forbidden tomorrow, depending on the shifting priorities of the central planners.
Right.
That's where individual freedoms start to vanish.
Okay. I see where it's coming from.
Yeah.
But didn't Hayek also go a step further and claim that fascism and National Socialism
Oh, yeah.
were somehow outgrowths of socialist ideas?
Right.
That seems like a pretty controversial claim even today.
It is, and it was even more controversial back then.
Yeah.
But what's key to understanding Hayek's argument
Okay.
is that he saw this flaw
Okay.
at the very heart of central planning,
Okay.
the pursuit of social justice through top-down control.
Okay.
This, he argued, inevitably leads to conflict. Think about it.
Yeah.
If the government is in charge of allocating resources and deciding what's fair,
Right.
different groups will constantly be vying for control,
Yeah.
trying to impose their own vision of the common good
Right.
on everyone else.
So in a way, he's saying that the attempt to create a utopia
Right.
through central planning can actually backfire and create conditions that make totalitarian ideologies more appealing.
Yes, and he uses this term, conservative socialism,
Okay.
to describe a trend he observed in his own time.
Uh-huh.
It's the idea that you can combine traditional values with collectivist economic policies.
Okay.
Hayek saw disturbing parallels
Yeah.
between this trend and the rise of fascism and National Socialism.
Mm-hmm.
He argued that they weren't reactions against socialism, but rather twisted offshoots of its inherent contradictions.
Oh, wow.
Like they grew out of these contradictions.
It almost feels like he was saying, be careful what you wish for, because the road to hell can be paved with good intentions.
Yes, and that sense of caution is woven throughout The Road to Serfdom.
Mm-hmm.
He understood that people crave security,
Absolutely.
and the promise of a planned economy can be very seductive.
But isn't some level of economic security important for people to truly feel free?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're constantly worried about basic necessities,
sure.
you can't really pursue your own goals and aspirations, right?
Hayek certainly agreed that a basic level of security is essential for true liberty to flourish.
Okay.
But he warned against making security the absolute overriding goal.
Mm,
He felt that when security becomes the ultimate aim,
right.
it leads to a rigid society that stifles innovation and opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
He observed that attempts to protect certain groups through wage controls and regulations often ended up hurting those who were left outside those privileged occupations.
So it's about finding a balance, isn't it, between providing a safety net and not stifling individual initiative and creativity.
Yeah.
That's a tough needle to thread.
Yeah. It is. And that's why the road to serfdom continues to spark debate.
Yeah.
It forces us to grapple with these fundamental questions. How much control is too much?
Right.
How do we balance security with freedom?
Yeah.
These are questions you'll need to keep in mind as you continue exploring Hayek's work.
Now, let's shift our focus to the historical context in which Hayek was writing.
Okay.
You mentioned he was writing during World War II.
Yeah.
Why was central planning gaining popularity at that time?
Well, imagine the world in the 1940s.
Okay.
The world had just gone through this devastating war, and people were yearning for solutions to complex problems.
Right.
They saw planning as a way to rebuild, to achieve social justice, and to create a more stable and prosperous future.
Yeah.
In a way, it was seen as this utopian ideal.
But Hayek was skeptical, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
It wasn't just any kind of planning he objected to, was it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Hayek was very specific in his critique. He wasn't talking about the kind of planning you or I might do in our daily lives.
Right.
Like making a budget or setting goals.
Right.
He was focused on what he saw as a very particular type of economic control.
Okay.
Where the government dictates the allocation of resources and production decisions.
Okay.
He called this socialist planning.
Right.
To distinguish it from simply setting up a framework for individual decision-making.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about planning in the general sense, but about a very specific type of government control over the economy. And that's where he saw the potential for things to go wrong.
Right.
He even uses this chilling quote about the British attitude towards wartime regulations, where he says, the government is in a position to frustrate individual efforts.
Yeah.
The state cannot control the use made of its machinery, and that the individual knows precisely how far he will be protected against interference from others.
Yes. That quote really captures Hayek's concern about the unpredictable and potentially arbitrary nature of government intervention in a planned economy.
Right.
He saw it as a direct threat to individual liberty and the rule of law.
Okay, so we've established that Hayek was deeply concerned about central planning.
Yeah.
Even when pursued with good intentions. He saw it as a slippery slope that could lead to the erosion of freedom and ultimately to tyranny.
Yeah.
He also saw this disturbing connection between socialist ideas and the rise of totalitarian regimes.
Yeah.
And all of this was written against the backdrop of a world grappling with the aftermath of a devastating war and yearning for security and solutions.
Yeah.
But this is just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
There's so much more to unpack in The Road to Serfdom.
We've only just begun to scratch the surface of Hayek's complex and thought-provoking arguments.
Wow.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore some of the alternatives he proposed to central planning,
Okay.
like the concept of spontaneous order.
Interesting.
And we'll examine how his ideas connect to current debates about the role of government and the limits of individual freedom.
Well, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It's going to be really interesting to get into that.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
Me too.
So we've explored Hayek's warnings about central planning, but it wasn't enough for him to just critique the, existing systems.
Right.
He offered an alternative, didn't he?
Yeah.
This idea of spontaneous order.
Yeah, spontaneous order.
Sounds almost paradoxical.
Yeah, it does, but it's one of Hayek's most profound and influential concepts.
Okay.
Think about something as complex as language.
Okay.
No one sat down and designed it, right?
Hi.
It evolved over time through the countless interactions of individuals. That's spontaneous order in action. Complexity arising not from top-down control,
Right.
but from the decentralized actions of countless individuals.
So instead of a conductor leading an orchestra, it's more like a jazz ensemble where each musician improvises while still contributing to the overall harmony.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
And Hayek believed that the market, when it's allowed to operate freely within a framework of rules,
Right.
functions in a similar way.
Okay.
Prices, for example, act like signals, conveying information about supply and demand throughout the economy.
Right.
This allows individuals to make informed decisions about what to produce, what to consume, and how to allocate their resources, all without a central planner dictating those choices.
That's quite a contrast to the idea of a government bureaucrat trying to make all those decisions for everyone.
Yeah.
But wouldn't this kind of spontaneous order lead to chaos and instability?
Yeah.
I mean, don't we need some degree of planning and coordination to ensure that things run smoothly?
That's a common concern.
Okay.
But Hayek argued that spontaneous order, while seemingly messy and unpredictable, is actually incredibly efficient and adaptable. It allows for constant innovation and adjustment as circumstances change.
Right.
Think about the internet, for example.
Okay.
No one planned its structure or the specific content that would be created.
Right.
Yet it's become an incredibly powerful and complex system that's constantly evolving.
Okay. I'm starting to see the appeal of this idea.
Yeah.
But didn't Hayek also believe that there were limits to what markets could do on their own?
Right.
Didn't he acknowledge a need for some government intervention in certain areas?
He did.
Okay.
Hayek recognized that there are certain public goods, like national defense or a clean environment, that markets might not provide efficiently on their own.
Right.
He also acknowledged that a certain level of social safety net might be necessary to ensure that everyone has a basic standard of living.
So he wasn't a complete libertarian advocating for zero government involvement?
No, he was more nuanced than that.
Okay.
He saw the role of government as being limited but essential. He believed that the government should focus on creating a framework of rules that allows for individual freedom and market competition to flourish, while also providing certain essential public goods and a safety net for those in need.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But how did Hayek see this balance playing out in practice?
Yeah.
What kind of policies did he advocate for?
Hayek was a strong advocate for sound money, limited government spending, and a legal framework that protects property rights and enforces contracts. He saw these as essential elements of a free market order that could promote both individual liberty and economic prosperity.
But his ideas weren't always popular, were they? I mean, he was writing at a time when socialist ideas were gaining traction in many parts of the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Road to Serfdom was published in 1944, at a time when many people believed that central planning was the key to a better future. Hayek's book was a direct challenge to that prevailing orthodoxy.
Right.
It sparked fierce debate.
Wow.
And was both praised and condemned for its bold arguments.
And how did people react to this book? I mean, it wasn't just an academic text, was it?
You're right.
Yeah.
It became a surprise bestseller.
Really?
Even appearing in a condensed version in Reader's Digest.
Wow.
It shows you just how much these ideas resonated with a public that was grappling with big questions about the role of government and the future of freedom.
It's amazing to think that a book about economics could capture the public imagination like that.
Yeah.
It must have really tapped into something deeper, something about human nature and the desire for both freedom and security.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, despite its popularity, The Road to Serfdom wasn't without its critics.
Sure.
Some argued that Hayek overstated the dangers of planning. And that democratic societies had safeguards in place.
Right.
To prevent the kind of tyranny he feared.
I suppose they might have said that we don't have to go all the way down that road to serfdom. Yeah. There are off-ramps along the way, if we're careful.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But even those who disagreed with Hayek's conclusions often acknowledged the power and thought-provoking nature of his arguments. He raised crucial questions about the balance of power, the limits of human knowledge, and the importance of safeguarding individual freedom.
So even if you don't agree with everything Hayek said, it's hard to deny that he made people think deeply about these fundamental issues.
Yeah.
But he wasn't just about abstract ideas, was he?
Right.
He also connected his theories to real-world examples, didn't he?
Yes, and this is where his analysis of how socialist ideas gained traction in democratic societies becomes particularly interesting.
Okay.
He argued that it wasn't just a matter of economic circumstances or political opportunism.
Right.
He believed there was a deeper intellectual and cultural shift at play.
So he was looking beyond the surface-level politics and trying to understand the underlying ideas that were shaping people's worldviews.
Exactly. Hayek believed that the rise of socialism was fueled in part by a decline in the belief in individual responsibility.
Right.
There was this growing acceptance of the idea that the state should play a larger role in people's lives, providing for their needs and ensuring their well-being.
And you can see how that might be appealing, especially in times of uncertainty or hardship.
Absolutely.
People naturally crave security and stability. But Hayek saw this as a dangerous trend, didn't he?
He did.
Okay.
He argued that this shift towards collectivism was undermining the very foundations of a free society.
Mm-hmm.
He saw it as a gradual erosion of the values that make individual liberty possible. Things like self-reliance,
Okay.
personal responsibility,
Yeah.
and a willingness to take risks and innovate.
So he wasn't just concerned with government policies.
Right.
He was also worried about a change in the cultural mindset,
Yeah,
a shift away from the values that he saw as essential for a free society to function.
exactly. And this is where his critique of what he called scientism comes in.
Scientism.
Yeah.
That sounds a bit like a villain from a science fiction movie.
Yeah, I know.
What did he mean by that?
Well, Hayek was concerned about the tendency to apply the methods of the natural sciences to the study of society.
Okay.
He argued that human behavior is far too complex and unpredictable
Yeah.
to be reduced to simple formulas or equations.
So you can't just treat society like a giant physics experiment where you can manipulate variables and get predictable outcomes.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
Hayek believed that attempts to do so were not only futile, but also potentially dangerous.
Right.
He was worried that this mindset could lead to a kind of social engineering,
Oh.
where experts would try to control and manipulate people's behavior, all in the name of achieving some grand social plan.
That sounds a bit Orwellian, doesn't it?
It does.
But didn't Hayek also acknowledge that we need some kind of knowledge and
Mhm.
understanding
Right.
to make good decisions about social policy?
He did. But he believed that this knowledge couldn't be acquired solely through scientific methods.
Okay.
He emphasized the importance of what he called tacit knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
the kind of knowledge that's acquired through experience, tradition,
Okay.
and cultural norms.
So it's that kind of knowledge that's hard to articulate,
Yeah,
the kind of gut feeling you get from years of working in a particular field
exactly.
or living in a particular community.
And Hayek believed that this kind of knowledge was essential for making sound judgments about complex social issues.
Right.
He argued that planners often overlooked this tacit knowledge,
Okay.
focusing instead on abstract theories and statistical models.
So in a way, he was arguing for a more humble approach to social policy, one that recognizes the limits of human knowledge
Yeah.
and the importance of drawing on the wisdom of experience and tradition.
Yes, he believed that the best solutions to social problems often emerge from the bottom up, through the trial and error of individuals interacting within a framework of rules, rather than being imposed from the top down by experts.
That sounds very different from the kind of centralized planning that he was criticizing.
It is.
Yeah.
And this is where Hayek's critique of constructivist rationalism comes in.
Okay.
This was his term for the belief that we can rationally design a perfect society from scratch,
Right.
based on abstract principles.
So instead of trying to engineer a perfect society, Hayek believed that we should focus on creating the conditions for freedom to flourish
Yes.
and allow solutions to emerge organically.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this brings us to one of the most enduring and relevant aspects of The Road to Serfdom.
Okay.
It's not just a critique of socialism or central planning. It's a defense of individual liberty and a warning about the dangers of concentrating power in the hands of the few,
Yeah.
regardless of their intentions.
And this warning seems even more relevant today, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, we live in a world where governments and corporations are collecting vast amounts of data about our lives, and where technology is giving them new tools to monitor and control our behavior.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Hayek's insights into the seductive nature of power and the fragility of freedom are more relevant than ever.
Right.
But The Road to Serfdom isn't just a cautionary tale.
Okay.
It also offers this hopeful vision, a vision of a society where individuals are free to make their own choices,
Right.
pursue their own goals,
Yeah.
and create their own destinies.
So it's a call to action, a reminder that freedom is something that must be constantly defended and nurtured.
Exactly.
Okay.
And as we delve deeper into the nuances of Hayek's arguments in the next part of our deep dive, I think you'll find that The Road to Serfdom is much more than just an economic treatise.
Right.
It's a profound meditation on the human condition
Yeah.
and the timeless struggle for liberty.
We've been unpacking some pretty heavy concepts so far.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Scientism, constructivist, rationalism.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It really is.
But I think it boils down to
Okay.
Hayek was deeply skeptical of any approach to governance
Right.
that tried to treat society like a machine that could be engineered and controlled.
That's a great distillation of his core argument.
Yeah.
He believed that societies are far too complex and dynamic to be managed in that way.
Right.
And this is where his critique of socialism becomes especially interesting.
Okay.
He saw it as more than just a set of economic policies.
Right.
He saw it as a way of thinking that was fundamentally at odds with individual freedom.
So for Hayek, it wasn't just about who controls the means of production. It was about this deeper philosophical clash between collectivism and individualism.
Exactly.
Okay.
You see, Hayek argued that the socialist pursuit of social justice through central planning often overlooked the importance of individual choice and responsibility.
Right.
He felt that it created a culture of dependency where individuals were expected to rely on the state for their well-being rather than taking initiative and creating their own opportunities.
And that this in turn could erode the very foundations of a free and prosperous society.
Precisely.
Okay.
He believed that the strength of a society lay in the creativity, ingenuity, and entrepreneurial spirit of its individuals, and that a system that stifled those qualities would ultimately lead to stagnation and decline.
But Hayek also acknowledged that there was a role for government, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
It wasn't as simple as government bad, individual good.
He was a strong advocate for limited government.
Okay.
But he wasn't an anarchist.
Right.
He saw a legitimate role for the state in providing essential public goods, enforcing the rule of law, and creating a framework that allows markets to function effectively.
Right.
But he always emphasized that these interventions should be carefully considered.
Yeah.
And that they should never undermine individual liberty or the spontaneous order of a free society.
So it's about finding that delicate balance, isn't it?
It really is.
Between the need for collective action and the protection of individual rights.
Yes.
And that's a tension that we're still grappling with today, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hayek's work provides us with a valuable framework for thinking about these challenges.
Okay.
It reminds us that there are no easy answers.
Right.
And that any attempt to expand the role of government must be weighed carefully against its potential impact on individual freedom.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the road to serfdom,
Go ahead.
what do you think is Hayek's most enduring legacy?
That's a good question.
What are the key takeaways that we can apply to our own lives and to the world around us?
I think Hayek's greatest contribution was his unwavering defense of individual liberty.
Okay.
And his profound insights into the dangers of concentrated power.
Right.
He showed us that the road to tyranny isn't always paved with malicious intent.
Yeah.
It can be paved with good intentions.
Right.
With the seductive promise of security. And with the belief that we can engineer a perfect society through central planning.
Right.
He reminds us that the best solutions often emerge from the bottom up.
Okay.
From the countless interactions of free individuals.
Right.
Within a framework of rules that protect individual rights and encourage innovation.
And those are lessons that we can all take to heart.
Absolutely.
Regardless of our political beliefs or our economic circumstances.
Yeah, I think so.
The fight for freedom is a timeless one.
It really is.
And the road to serfdom serves as a powerful reminder of what's at stake.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've given our listener a lot to think about.
I hope so.
Hopefully this deep dive has sparked their curiosity and given them a deeper understanding of Hayek's ideas and their enduring relevance.
I think so too.
The Road to Serfdom is a book that deserves to be read and discussed widely.
Absolutely.
It's a book that challenges us to think deeply about the kind of world we want to create for ourselves and for future generations.
It really does.
And as you continue exploring Hayek's work and grappling with these big questions, remember his warning. The road to serfdom is often paved with good intentions.
That's a good one to end on.
That's a great point to leave everyone with.